On January 6, 2021, supporters of then-President Donald Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol and tried to stop the certification of the presidential election. As Trump prepares now to return to the White House, he has promised to pardon many of the people charged with criminal offenses that day. Let's take a look at this report, which brings us all the details.
January 6, 2021. An assault on democracy as a mob summoned by President Donald Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol building. 4 people among the crowd died. 5 police officers were dead within days. The vice president and leaders of the Senate and House narrowly escaped as intruders roamed the halls. The biggest investigation in the history of the U.S. Justice Department followed. More than 1,500 people were arrested on charges ranging from assaulting police to trespassing to obstructing official proceedings. More than 1,000 have pled guilty and more than 250 have been convicted in court, while other trials and arrests continue. Some of the rioters became prominent figures, like the so-called QAnon shaman and the man who put his feet up on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's desk. Both were sentenced to years in prison. Now, thanks to Donald Trump taking office again, they could soon be free, while others could see charges dropped. Trump has promised to pardon the rioters on day one, using the legal system, his constitutional power to grant pardons to overturn efforts to hold people accountable for trying to override an election. It was even part of his campaign.
Would you pardon
What's going to happen? Oh, absolutely I would.
You would pardon those?
If they're innocent, I would pardon them.
Trump has called those arrested hostages and during his campaign regularly played an anthem by the so-called January 6th prison choir. But Trump has been vague about exactly who will get a pardon. He's never promised to pardon everyone who was charged that day, and recently said he wouldn't pardon people who were, quote, radical or crazy. Trump could issue a blanket pardon for those charged with specific offenses like trespassing. But he's said he'll be looking into individual cases, which would take time. It's also unclear what he'll do about the highest-profile convicts, leaders of far-right organizations like the Oath Keepers, and the Proud Boys, who were convicted for encouraging their followers to take part. Trump's statements have left many questions unanswered. But his day one promise is clear. Pardoning those who tried to keep him in office, against the will of the voters, is a priority.